The bell rang at Sunnybrook Elementary. Back in the beginning of a school year, students chatted excitedly, sharing stories of their summer vacations. Caleb, with his old worn backpack and tired eyes, walked through the hallway quietly. He hoped this school year would be different, but a heavy weight sat in his heart, making him anxious about what lay ahead. Caleb entered his new classroom and took a seat at the back. The other kids whispered and giggled, with their eyes flicking towards him. When the teacher started the lesson, Caleb struggled to keep up. The whispers grew louder with every mistake he made, making him feel embarrassed and isolated. With each day that goes by, the teasing always intensified. Whenever Caleb answered a question incorrectly, his classmates laughed loudly. Caleb can't get a simple answer right, they'll say. The constant ridicule made Caleb feel like he was invincible, except for the pain they inflicted. One afternoon, Caleb was heading home when Danny and his gang of bullies approached. They surrounded him, shoving him around and laughing. "Look at you, Caleb, still messing up," Danny taunted. Caleb's heart pounded with fear, but he tried to stay calm, knowing he needed to get home quickly. Danny pushed Caleb hard, making him stumble. Then Danny slapped Caleb on the head with a forceful hit. The pain was sharp and immediate. Caleb clenched his head, his eyes filling with tears. "Please, just let me go. I need to get home to my mom," he begged, his voice trembling. The pain in his head was a cruel reminder of his difficult life. The bullies finally walked away, but Caleb rubbed his head. In pain, he forced himself to walk to his orange stand. His step, slow and harbored. Each step was a struggle, but his heart ached with the weight of his responsibilities. The orange stand was not just a job, it was essential for his sick mother's well-being. At the orange stand, Caleb tried to smile at customers, but the pain made it hard to focus. His hand shook as he handled the oranges. Every moment made his head ache worse. Despite his pain, he worked diligently, knowing he had to provide for his mother. His exhaustion was evident, but he couldn't afford to take a break. When the day's work was over, Caleb packed up his stand. He carefully hid the swelling on his head under his hat, determined not to let anyone see. He walked home slowly, each step lesser than the last. The pain in his head was so unbearable, but he knew he had to keep it hidden from his mother at home. At home, Caleb's mother was lying in bed, unable to walk. Caleb helped her with her evening routine, making sure she was comfortable. He didn't want her to see the injury, so he kept his hat on and forced a smile. After his mother fell asleep, Caleb sat alone in his room. He removed his hat, revealing the bruised and swollen area on his head. The pain was intense, and he sobbed quietly, the tears soaking his pillow. He pressed a cold cloth to the injury, trying to soothe the troubling pain. Each tear was a release of the sadness and exhaustion he felt. Night after night, Caleb cried alone. He would lie in bed, the weight of his pain and the responsibility of caring for his sick mother resting heavily on his shoulders. Each night was filled with quiet sobs and muffled cries. As he tried to stay strong, despite the overwhelming pain and fatigue, the bullying continued to escalate. Danny and his friends would taunt Caleb in the hallways, pushing him and calling him names. They even started to steal his lunch money. Caleb felt powerless and humiliated, his heart aching every cool word and shove. The weight of their actions made him feel trapped and alone. One day, after a particularly harsh bullying section, Caleb's injuries were worse than usual. Danny had hit him in the rib, and Caleb was in severe pain. He fought back tears as he walked to his orange stand, struggling to breathe and keep moving. He had to sell oranges despite the bruising pain in his side. At home, Caleb's mother noticed his pale face and the strain in his eyes, but didn't ask about it. Caleb continued to hide his injuries, not wanting to bother her. He made excuses, saying he was just tired from the day. Inside, he was breaking, but he couldn't let his mother see his pain. Mr. Thompson, the new teacher, noticed Caleb's struggles in class. He saw the weariness and the faded uniform, but didn't know the full story. Concerned, Mr. Thompson decided to observe Caleb more closely. Sensing that there was something more going on behind the classroom, one afternoon, Mr. Thompson discreetly followed Caleb after school. He watched from the distance as Caleb sat up and went to his orange stand, noting the pain and exhaustion evident in his movement. Mr. Thompson saw the bruises on Caleb's face and the way he whined with every step. The sight was heartbreaking. Mr. Thompson also noticed Caleb's care for his sick mother. Caleb's mother was bedridden, unable to walk, and Caleb was her only caregiver. Mr. Thompson realized that Caleb's struggles were far more complex than school issues. He felt a deep sense of compassion and knew he needed to take action. Mr. Thompson decided to help Caleb both academically and emotionally. He began staying after school to offer extra lessons and support. He also checked in with Caleb more frequently, providing encouragement and creating a safe space for him to talk about his difficulties. Dear viewers, I know you would like to know what happened to Caleb now that Mr. Thompson has decided to take care of him and mentor him. Before we know all that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and also the notification button so that you're going to get notified whenever I post new videos. Now let's get back to the story. Caleb was hesitant at first, but slowly began to trust Mr. Thompson. They worked together on schoolwork, and Mr. Thompson gently encouraged Caleb to share his experiences. Caleb started to open up about the bullying and his struggles at home, finding comfort in Mr. Thompson's understanding. With Mr. Thompson's support, Caleb's academic performance improved. His confidence grew, and he began to feel more hopeful about his future. Although the bullying still hurts, Caleb felt stronger with Mr. Thompson's help and the newfound support of his classmates. The school announced a major test that will affect everyone's grade. Caleb was nervous, but also determined. He saw it as a chance to prove himself and showed that despite his hardship, he was capable of succeeding. Mr. Thompson and Caleb worked hard to prepare for the test. They reviewed materials, practicals, and questions to build Caleb's confidence. Each step was a section towards achieving his dreams and goals. On the day of the test, Caleb was anxious but hopeful. He sat at his desk trying to focus on each question, despite the lingering pain from the bully's attack. Mr. Thompson's words of encouragement and the support of his friends helped Caleb stay focused. The test results was announced, and Caleb scored the highest in class. His classmates were astonished, unable to believe that the boy they had bullied was now the top student. Caleb's achievement was a powerful testament to his hard work and perseverance. Mr. Thompson decided to share Caleb's story with the class. He wanted everyone to understand the challenges Caleb had faced, including the bullying and his responsibility as a whole. The class listened in silence, their faces filled with shock and empathy. The revelation of Caleb's struggles led to a significant change in his classmates. They began to understand the pain they had caused and felt remorse. Danny and the other bullies approached Caleb with heartfelt apologies, expressing their regrets for their actions. Caleb, though still hurt, accepted their apologies. The process of healing was gradual, but it marked the beginning of a new one. The bullying stopped. The school fair approached, and Caleb decided to set up his orange stand once again. His classmates, now friends, offered their help. They assisted with the preparations and cheered Caleb up, showing their support and appreciation for his hard work. The school fair was a joyful event, and Caleb's orange stand was a big hit, and it sold out quickly. His classmates, along with Mr. Thompson, celebrated his success. The day was filled with laughter and joy, making a positive turning point in Caleb's life. During a special school assembly, Caleb was recognized for his perseverance and achievement. He received a certificate for his hard work and perseverance. His mother, with tears of pride in her eyes, and Mr. Thompson, who clapped the loudest, were there to celebrate his accomplishment. Caleb's story became an inspiration to many. His journey through pain, perseverance, and eventually triumph showed that even in the face of tremendous challenges, it was possible to overcome difficulties and achieve greatness. As time went on, Caleb continued to excel in his studies and maintain his newfound friendship. He remained dedicated to caring for his mother, but with the guidance and support of his friends, he found a better balance in life. Caleb's classmates learned a valuable lesson about kindness and empathy. They became more supportive and understanding, making the school a more inclusive and positive place. Their spirit taught everyone the importance of compassion and the impact of their action on others. Caleb's resilience became a symbol of strength for his classmates. His story was shared with many other students, inspiring them to face their own challenges with courage and determination. Caleb became a role model to other kids, demonstrating that perseverance and kindness could lead to success. As school year came to a close, Caleb looked back on his journey with a sense of accomplishment. He had overcome so much and had grown stronger. With Mrs. Thompson's continued support and his newfound respect of his peers, Caleb felt ready to embrace the future with hope and confidence. That marks the end of our story. I know there are lots of lessons to learn from this story. In this story, I learned that we should be careful what we do to others. Most people are actually going through a lot, and you should show kindness. Kindness is a good character that should be applauded. The kindness that Mr. Thompson showed Caleb helped him stick through his studies in order to become a sound person academically. I know there are lots of lessons to learn from this story, but share yours in the comment section and let me know where you're watching from. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell so that you're going to get notified whenever I post new videos. Thank you for your time. Till we meet again in another video.